Nation is the board of the director. Its its headquarters is in the Washington D.C. in the U.S. And the managing director, whose term is about 5 years and is in charge of all the monetary businesses works. And China is one of the founders of the IMF. And in April 1980s, the China resumed the legal seats of on the IMF. China becomes an important member of this IMF. The second is the World Bank. The World Bank is also called the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. It was set according to the Bretton Woods in 1944 July, Bretton Woods Conference by the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development Agreements, established in December 1945 in Washington, D.C., U.S., and it is the specialized agency of the United Nations. Its main aim is to restore the damaged because of the World War II, and after the task completes, the World Bank task changed to aid, promote, and the economic development of underdeveloped countries or the major international institutions. So the loans, the World Bank's aim today is to promote private foreign investment, economic development in developing countries, and who needs loans, and is the organized form of shareholding system, and the main source of fund is the member subscribed capital, or capital of World Bank loan in strict coordinating with the procedures. And the loans to the developing countries on the basic infrastructures, education or training, technology aids, and consultation range from 7 years to 30 years. So the receivers should ask the government or government guaranteed enterprise, and after the project assessment, the loans can be used. And the usage of the loan should be reported regularly to the World Bank. So the head of the bank are Americans. Board of directors is the decision agencies, and regular day-to-day work was done by the executive director. So next is the WTO, the World War Organization and its role. The WTO was established on January 1st, 1995, formally replacing the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, or GATT, which has been interim bodies since 1948, a temporary organization. It's a permanent economic organization created by the international treaty approved by member governments and legislatures. The executive body of WTO is General Council, and the Director General is elected by the members through the consultation. The highest authority is the ministerial conference held every 2 years, and the key structure is the trade dispute settlement body and the trade policy review body. At present, the WTO has made some achievement in disputing settlements, financial services, and telecommunication services. The basic principles and purpose of it is to promote the liberalization of the world trade through the implementation of principles of marketing opening, non-discrimination, and fair trade. And through fair trade, the overall economic welfare of all countries in the world will be improved. And WTO's basic function includes as a member in the place of multilateral trade negotiation and the opinion of the puppets with the support of the member management and the execution has multilateral trade agreements. And when the trade dispute between members, they seek solution of the trade dispute and regularly inspect and supervise the members of trade policies, coordinating with other international organizations. On the whole, WTO mainly emphasizes and implements the trade liberalization and non-discrimination policies and gives certain trade preference to developing countries. Specifically, the principle of trade organization as follows. So, first is the non-discrimination principle, and the second is the tariff concessions. And next is the cancel the quantity limitation principle. And next is the anti-dumping and the restrictive export subsidies. And fifth is the principle of transparency, and the sixth is the principle of consultations and adjustments. So around the six principles, the main contents of WTO divided to four parts. First is the core clause, whereby parties provide each other with unconditional most favored nation treaty and tariffs in the respect to the tariff and trade. The second is the national regulate and trade policies of contracting parties on the mutual provision of um, national treaties, customs valuations, subsidies, and foreign exchange arrangements and import quantity restrictions. And third is to make the procedural provisions on the scope of application of the document entry and exit procedures, tariff negotiations, and amendment of tariff schedules. And the fourth part is the tariff and other special treatment should be according to the developing country in their trade and development as far as possible. Compared with the previous GATT, this WTO has made many new progress in terms of content, scope, system functions, especially in strengthening the world multilateral trade order, standardization rules for the international trade competition, and improving the trade dispute settlement mechanism.